very interesting composition.
Yeah.
And as such, they were approaching it also in interesting ways.
They were laughing at one point when their grey main got blown up.
Yes. All right, into the draft. Game number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. Let's get serious as we get into the bans coming up now, starting with SPT. What do we think?
Well, usual top picks, not that, but
No.
he is back now, so that is fair enough. Usual top picks on this in terms of immortal race potential would include the Valor, it would include the Grey main, and sometimes the Nazebo if you think you can consistently get those spiders.
I feel like Genji will definitely be a high priority for both of these teams. I'd be really surprised if we see it past the second man phase, that and Grey main.
Makes sense, makes sense. Grubby?
Yeah, I think Greyman will be a fine opening, but it's going to be Uther. So just now, Black ran massive lockdown, and they removed Uther, who is the best against massive lockdown. So it's nice to get that early.
All right, part of me is going to look at this seriously, and then part of me is going to say everything SPT does in this draft from here on, it's going to be Divine Storm. All right, now what else is going to happen?
Sure, yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Right, yeah.
There was no Wrath of Berserker last game either.
Absolutely.
No, they're baiting it a Genji straight away here with the Uther pick. They're giving it over one of the best heroes like Genji, Malfurion. I'd say would probably be the best 2 openers for MVP Black. They want to get that second incredible sport. And although Karazim is also pretty good on this map in general, but the Uther is probably the best support against Genji in terms of he dashes in, you hit R, and then you trust your team to be able to react to it.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like Greymane Tyrael come out here. Black's been running Tyrael here often, and you get a kind of lockdown, speed up, and slowdown that is not reliant on stunts.
Here's the theory. Here's a theory for me, right? So we're seeing Vala, but we're seeing a Nubarak again. And I said it in the middle of last draft, is that competitively, they have not played a Nubarak. And they've been here, they've been in scrims, they looked at some of the other drafts. This, and no disrespect towards SPT, but I think SPT realized they might be outclassed. This might be a training session more for MVP Black. Like, look, let's get our feet wet competitively with the Nubarak. Let's play it against SPT just so we can ease into it.
I think you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a good assessment. I can only imagine, as you're saying, with scrims and stuff like that, there must be a world where between seeing them on the Korean stage and now, they must have been scrimming, even like when they've come to the European teams. But there's Greymane Tyrael, so what you wanted from MVP Black comes out on the other side.
Yeah, it's cool. They can go Judgment, and they can go... I mean, we don't know what they go out.
Yeah.
I'm done predicting heroic choices here for SPT.
Rubbish. Greymane, now he has 2 viable heroics. We can't pick something that's silly.
Why I didn't say anything.
Welcome to my job every week, guys. This is what I have to deal with.
As a Chinese resident.
Absolutely.
This is a thing now, isn't it? Okay. The Genji ban, kind of what we expected. Chen being hovered. Rich is not back in the team yet, guys.
Chen ban? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Arthas, that slightly makes more sense against the Greymane especially.
Misclick, haha. Don't mind. Genji's been banned. Arthas goes away. Not yet, right? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, locked in now. So, Artanis from MVP Black with the 2 different color blades and the Malfurion somehow snuck his way through the bans so they are able to get that strong support.
It's very important that is Zeratul old blade. Very important to note.
Yes, it is.
No spoilers.
Indeed.
Ish.
Yeah.
Malfurion coming in. What are we expecting now from SPT in the potential wacky world of China?
They have done single damage dealers. Greymane's pretty good in terms of the poke potential. Second tank might be nice, and with a lot more lockdown to deal with Artanis would be a fairly common one. If this was pre the removal of his attack speed bonus, I would say ETC would be very effective here for them, but he does not have that anymore.
Yeah. True. It's true. Do SPT have to be concerned about the race right now? What is their objective with this composition? Are they going race or are they going fight? What do you think?
Right now, it looks fight to me.
Yeah.
With the option to leave Greymane behind to race, so I would expect maybe another damage dealer.
At worst, Sylvanas doesn't look terrible.
Okay.
If they want to go back into that Sylvanas thing, I mean, if you can win a race.
Okay. So, blinds are cool against Vala and Artanis. And Varian, very good lockdown, 40 zeros, and that's a Medivh.
Okay.
Medivh. MVP Black, they've been branded since yesterday. And bringing that back in.
Yes, they are. So for starters, Varian is exceptionally good against Artanis just due to Shattering Throw, because he's able to burst through those shields at the late stage. Remember, this is the team that went Twin Blades, but we're not going to over-exaggerate that point here, despite its incredible Immortal burn down. But Taunt is also good at just catching so many of the heroes. I'm not sure. I'd lead it like 90% to Taunt.
Wasn't it you, Grubby, that found out that Shattering Throw against Medivh wasn't a fun time?
Wasn't there some troll caster in one of my games that wanted to go for Shattering Throw against Force of... Oh, yeah. no. It was hilarious. Okay, no disrespect. Love the guy. Trixler was going Shattering Throw against Reabsorption.
I can see him dying.
I'm sorry, dude. Hey, I've got plenty of fail. But that's the thing. Varian's Shattering Throw is good against Artanis from level 13 to 15, and then when Medivh gets 16, he gets healing from it.
I'm glad you all picked up on that. Well done, team.
I thought you were talking about yourself for a moment. I was like, what?
No. All right, so we need predictions, boys. Before we get into this game, I know we've done some great analysis there of this game.
All right, so Colossus Smash, Water Dragon, go for the Throne of Judgment, Divine Storm.
Perfect.
I think it's going to have a 38% chance of winning, so I'll just go with MVP Black.
Well calculated.
As much as those things would be cool, there's sort of a small issue in the form of Medivh. So I am unfortunately betraying and I'm moving over to MVP Black.
That didn't take long. Jay-How?
I'm going to talk to Grubby afterwards and figure out what his formula is for that 38%. But I'm going to go 100% MVP Black.
All right, fantastic stuff. Let's check in with what you guys think at home here between MVP Black and SPT. And
all right.
The ratios have slightly changed.
It just jumped up a bit more.
Audience
faith.
Keep voting, guys. Keep voting. One more vote.
People love Colossus Smash.
They believe.
No. Why did we have to, why did it go away?
Lot of
We'll
faith.
never know who's the favorite. It's 50-50,
Lot of faith.
guys.
I feel bad for flopping.
All right, well, thank you very much, gents. We'll check in with you in just a moment's time. For now, we're going to go over to game number 2 with Kaldor and Trixler, Shattering Throw.
It was an experiment, Grubby. Come on, man.
Sure. I'm with Grubby on this one. Your experiments, I know his experiments.
Hey, man, you got to go in. Well, your favorite panda
At
is
least
in
it
this game.
wasn't Gazlo.
Gazlo's pretty good, dude. He gets the kills here. Let's go ahead and jump into the match here. On the far left, SPT will be in the blue. Simba will be playing Uther. Sinjao will be on Greymane. Wings on Tyrael. Melody will be on Varian. And Z will be on Lili.
And to the right side of the map, ladies and gentlemen, MVP Black with Tis on Anubarak, Reset on Vala, Kyoja on Artanis, Meride on Malfurion, and Medivh is being played by Sake.
All right, let's see how this will shape out here. Lili holding on to that level 1 talent here. Typically, you get that blind set up, and it's actually going to be the Serpent build here from SPT, so we'll see how that shakes out. Double support life for them. Can MVP Black get the engages they want?
I mean, judging from the first game, we would definitely say that yes, they can. That wasn't even close. SPT, they seem to not really be too upset about that loss, so I'm curious to see if maybe they were just hoping for a win on Battlefield of Eternity here, trying to play this a little bit more aggressively. But let's find out. First of all, we have an Artanis in this game. I think personally that makes you very, very happy.
Yeah, slightly happy. Amateur opponent being picked up at level 1. Very effective at slaying immortals there, especially if you can have a 4-man rotation on the defense, have Artanis doing his own thing on the side, and he always has a possibility of a swap coming in. Tez takes some damage down here in the bottom lane, but SPT won't be able to get the kill, as we're going to have a portal to save the day.
For me personally, it's really all about how Sake is going to play this right now. He is going to be the one that we have to watch out for. Since SPT, the Chinese team, they have a lot of potential for aggression here, especially later on. We could even see that Judgment coming in, especially now that they have the double support. Together with the Cursed Bullet, you can do a lot of burst damage here. We have seen some nasty comps in the past. But MVP Black has so far shown an excellent series, and they really need these wins now as well, especially, of course, after dropping the map yesterday against Roll20.
And it appears that they want these wins, man. Game number 1 was a class on shutting down Sylvanas, that's for sure here. So with them being on BOE, which is another battleground they are very effective on, we'll see if SPT can hold their ground against him. Kyocha in the top left, standing against Melody here. Bit of an odd lane to see, Varian versus Artanis, but Artanis can slowly edge out that victory.
The position is already a bit better for MVP Black, but we have now also Greymane starting to move towards the Immortal of MVP Black, trying to race it. Fantastic hero to get the damage in. That's exactly what he's supposed to do now, but here comes the engage as this on his Anubarak is diving deep for the stun.
He moves in and Kyocha shows up to help out with the burns. Gonna drop the immature opponent here on top of the Immortal and will get it taken down, but very even in the race.
Yeah, Greymane is such a beast in these situations. It's fantastic how much damage he can dish out here. And they are starting to go for that race again. They are trying to. We have to the right side, Artanis already in position. Up here, Varian needs to be careful, does not get stunned. Portals all over the place, and the race is on.
MVP Black is trying to put as much chaos as they can here on the left side and make it harder for Greymane to burn it down. But look at this. SPT will actually win the first Immortal race.
They take the Immortal here, but they lose Lily. The Panda is down, and Simba is also falling. So both of the supports are eliminated, as we have SPT with the potential to push, but the Immortal still is going to need a bit of time so they can still make that work.
SPT losing a Panda and a Lion there. MVP Black comes down to defend right away, and we're going to have Kyocha burning down the Immortal as much as he can. And with SPT losing out on 2 members, it makes it very hard to get a lot of value out of the Immortal, so they have to just reset here, set up, and move into experience lanes, maybe push a counter lane, and they have done so. They've put 2 people on the top lane, but Varian Tyrael, not the best pushers in the world.
Yeah, not really. It looks for me now as if they are just simply trying to take the camp. And the same is true for MVP Black at that bot lane. The teams are focusing a bit more on the objectives now that are still on the map here, namely the mercenary camps. But the further game continues, the amount of heal that you get from the 2 supports here, Uther with the targeted burst heal, and Lilio, of course, with the team sustain overall, that can really make it difficult for MVP Black to get those kills, especially since Tyrael himself, of course, also provides that extra shield. So there's a lot of sustain on the side of SPT, and MVP Black has to prove that they can burst through that.
Can they burst through it? That's the question here. I think with Artanis being low enough on health overall, if you can get through that shield surge initially, you get the blind right out and you get the stun happening, you can make it happen here, especially with Varian, a level 10 with that Tom being available. But Kyocha isn't someone that's going to kind of put himself out of position too heavily. And if he does, there's Sake, as you mentioned, all the way from level 1 here. It's all about that Medivh. Ooh, here's a big pick, though, as Tist will fall victim to SPT.
Yeah, Nubarak is down, and that's the first kill for SPT. The Chinese team definitely has a lot of tools that they can use in this one. As we said before, Sake is one of those crucial heroes that has to really be on point throughout the game. On the Medivh with the shields, he can do so much here. I'm a little bit worried for MVP Black if SPT brings that Chinese aggression really into the game that we are used to see from teams like SPT, like Easter, and of course also CNA.
Yeah, if the Chinese aggression comes and they also get ahead in levels, yeah, MVP Black's going to be in a weird spot, man. Playing against double support when you are behind, pretty darn difficult to pull off. So SPT working on keeping that experience here, but they are currently neck and neck with their opponents. Both teams now grabbing the mercenaries, pushing top and the bottom to create that additional pressure that you want so much here on BOE.
What was also pretty fantastic was to see earlier how much pressure against the Immortal SPT has, and they are moving in once again. I also want to note that Vala did not go into the arrow build that we are used to see in the western regions, where you have even more pressure against the Immortal. It's a more traditional style on Vala, the hybrid build with multi-shot. But right now, MVP Black is losing a lot of hit points on their own Immortal, and SPT is moving in.
Reset low on health here. Isn't able to walk away. A portal comes to the side here, so Wings goes over to defend it. We're going to have Uther picked off on the left side, but he'll be able to top off his teammates who are low on health. However, with Lily getting low on mana, things aren't looking too good, and both supports are down.
Mana was definitely the biggest problem here for them. They lose once again both of their supports here, and that is an opportunity for Black to get the Immortal, to get the objective here. Melody C needs to be a bit careful. There's still Sake annoying everyone with his portals, but this is going to be an Immortal in favor of MVP Black.
And while we have a slow moment, I want to go back to your point with Vala and the multi-shot build here. I actually like it a lot here. Black is realizing that SPT wants to go for the race every single time. So they just put Vala down that fight to bring out that area effect damage, while Artanis is the one that burns down the Immortal. This makes Vala much more effective in the team fight than a Hungering Arrow would be until she finishes that quest. So Black definitely adapting here, and it's paying off.
Right now we also have 22 stacks on the side of Medivh, and they're currently focusing on the push at the bot lane. Kyoja is the one who gains experience up at the top, and MVP Black has edged out an entire level lead already. And that's even before the Immortal got value. They're diving in deep once again with the Underking, trying to get a potential kill here. There's also the portals, and Lily has no way of escaping this guy.
Lily in the fast feet is not enough. There is picked off, and 10 about to hit. Artan's still sitting in the top lane, and he can help out in the fight. Remember, his ult's being global. He has suppression pulse.
The zoning alone was so strong with this. Cocoon forcing another engage. Here comes, and once again another kill as Greymane falls thanks to Vala dropping the Raid of Vengeance. But look how well they zone them out here. They get the kills in the backline, and they also force them away from the fort, which allows the Immortal to go through the structure. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-level lead. This is fantastic play. Uther also dying again. They go once more into the backline, take down Lily. This is going to be keep.
This is going to be keeping. Could it be a core as well? 10 not even here for SPT. Sake is going to put a portal forward so they can get aggressive. They're going to clear out the keep here. The Immortal low on health, and MVP plays it safe. They pull on back, and they head the top here, where Artanis has already been working on top of a fort. This will get them to level 12, and they are closer to that level 13.
MVP Black is definitely in a rush here today. The first game was already super fast.
They have a chip on their shoulder right now? They're feeling a little bit on the heated moment.
One of them apparently has a date later on. I don't know.
We'll see if they can get out of here. Leyline Seal comes out, and Black is able to retreat as SPT were locked down in the corner on the left side.
I mean, all jokes aside, Black had to prove something here today. Yesterday, they were not happy whatsoever dropping that map against Roll20. You have to think about it from their perspective. Coming in from the region that is hailed to be the strongest region in the game. They are the team that has been able to win so many tournaments already. They are definitely the ones that everybody looked towards. Now they drop a map against North America all of a sudden, and they are really unhappy not making that 2-0 victory happen on their first day. So this is for them an opportunity not only to gain more points, but also to redeem themselves a bit for what happened yesterday. And this is one of the reasons why they really come out swinging.
So just a note, Judgment has been picked up here for SPT, but look at Varian. He's holding on to his heroic for the moment. Could it be something fishy? And yes, it is. We have Twin Blades of Fury for Varian.
Twin Blades taken, but I'm not really quite sure what I think about the rest of the setup that we are seeing here, especially looking at Greymane currently going into the go for the throat. We have Judgment, and it's already used. Medivh falling to it. But without the Cursed Bullet, the burst potential is a bit lower. Traditionally, if you go for the throat, you're trying to go into the backline and annihilate one of the heroes. The question is, who do you target? You have a Malfurion, who first of all has, of course, the silence. He also has his ice block. Then you have the Medivh in the setup with the shield. It's going to be a bit rough, but at least right now, there's some momentum for SPT as they go for the Immortal.
Caldor, sometimes you don't think. You just go in with it. There's Twin Blades of Fury in this game. Just enjoy it, man. Medivh getting picked off here on the left side, and both teams will go for the race, and it's currently even out.
I'm making a very bold prediction right now.
Okay.
We're going to see in this game why Twin Blades of Fury isn't picked.
I'm watching it here. Melody starts moving in, but big Leyline Seal comes out, and we're going to have Sake turn around the fight. Big Twilight Dream hitting multiple members, and MVP Black here's for not how many blades are on the opposing team. They turn around, and they take out Melody as he is the last one standing here. Oh, hang on. Will Protect be enough? He might be able to start escaping here.
Yeah, he might now.
No.
Just now.
Not even happening. But Lily lives.
But Trick, like all the Twin Blade value right there.
So much Twin Blade value. I think he got one auto attack in there. That's pretty nice, dude. He came in with that slash. 4 people down, and Lily buying some time here on the bottom left, but the Immortal has been grabbed. It will be pushing the top lane as the Panda gets close to falling here. She's juking and jiving. Is she going to get away? Can the Panda get away with an adventure? She keeps up with it. Tyrael on the side. No, the Panda falls.
Judgment YOLO on the side of SPT. They want Medivh at least, and Sake is falling. That Medivh pick on the side of Black definitely ruined a lot of the ideas that the Chinese team had. SPT does decide to go for the throat and the Twin Blades. Judgment on the Tyrael with a Cursed Bullet and Taunt. They could have really locked the target down, but with Medivh in that setup on the Korean team, it makes it, of course, so much harder. Greymane dies again, but they get the counter kill against Vala.
Yeah, they're working some damage in here. Cocoon will come out at the last second. Lily coming in for the fight as well. Do note the Immortal is currently on the core with the aid of catapults, but SPT are just looking for kills at the moment as they want to pad those stats because currently they're losing the game here. 40%, getting closer to 30, 20, 10, and that's going to be it. MVP Black wins with a 2-0.
MVP Black, they take it. We have 15 kills against 4 at the end of the game. Solid performance by Black. Definitely showing up here today and proving once again why they are so strong against the Chinese team, who has definitely struggled without their main shot call.
I think it was important for MVP Black to have a dominant performance today. One, because currently the Chinese team not having Misaka here is really hurting. They don't have the leadership that they normally would have. So it's important to have MVP Black come in and show how dominant they can be. And of course, they want to make up for yesterday. And they did well, man. Let's go over the panel over here who's actually got their own thoughts to share about the match.
That's right, Trixler, indeed we do. 2-0 to MVP Black, looking good there on Battlefield of Eternity. And you know how at the beginning you were saying, you know, Misaka, he kind of picks up his phone, he looks at the results, and he's like, oh, yeah, 2-0 MVP Black, that's to be expected, I suppose. He looks down, he looks at the draft, he's like, what happened? What?
Nope, this is not out of the ordinary for him at all. He'll be looking at, yes, he's right.
Maybe he looks at this and he's like, I taught them well. Okay, Lily must have been Cloud Serpent build. Oh yeah, Varian must have been Fury. Yeah, I'm surprised they lost.
No, this is the super perfect team down to a T. They run this kind of stuff, and to be fair, they did do quite well with that. Like Varian, what the Twin Blades pick was correct here. They did kill everyone they went up against. It's just the fact that it was already too late. They were already losing the entire map.
So an interesting choice overall. What was interesting was Judgment with it, but they were just confirming kills in the kind of scrappy fights of like 2s versus 2s, whilst the 3Ls elsewhere and stuff like that. So it's a very crazy game, Jay-How.
Just have a little bit of fun. Again, they're just testing, I guess, their extreme measures that they tend to go with. I don't think they can take anything away from this. We heard them, you know, obviously we can't understand what they're saying, but you can tell in the tone that they're just like, you know what, if we lose, we lose. It's okay. They can come back later.
You understand what they're saying, Tetcher?
No, not at all. I only cast them.
Oh. I thought maybe you'll pick
regional pride.
You'll never live that down.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's there. It's there forever. Love you, China.
All right, well, we do have one replay to get into, Jay-How.
Oh, we got something. Let's just set up the precursor on what we're going to talk about. So before we start, in the back, let's just keep this paused right now. So before this started, I talked about understanding your limits. Now, again, this is Tist, and this is his first competitive experience on a new brag. Now, first things first, he's going to come in. Now, let's go ahead and roll it forward, because this is understanding your limits, understanding what you can do as a new brag. Now, you got to understand the enemy team composition. He's taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to get stun locked, and he doesn't quite make it through the portal. So he goes down. That's going to do it for our first one, right? So this is spreading your wings, understanding your limits. Now, we need to head into the second one here, because this is where the really important part comes in. Hopefully, we got the second one. There we go. All right, here we go again. Highlight Tist again, right? Now watch, as the Immortal moves up, you now have the perimeter. He's going to dive in. He now starts to make the correct plays. Things like that, understanding his limits. That's the main thing I want to focus on, because he stays in. Now, here's the cool follow-up. They go through, they take the portal, they pause. Now, fight's over, right? Wrong. Okay, now let's look. Pause right now. Tist still manning the front line, understanding his positioning. The rest of his team ready to work. Now let's move it forward here, and we're going to see where this starts to follow up. Now watch as we see these members come up. Instantly, you're going to see Tist. He's going to make the call to say, hey, wait a minute, guys. I think we got this. Now pause right now, because right now we get the cocoon out, and Tist instantly goes forward, calls for the rest of his team to come up. Now let's move it forward, because he's going to land perfectly. Hits the stun, follows up with the impale, and then resets like, thank you very much. Let's go down, throw one more here in just a second. And the entire time, as we pause right now, look right here. We've got one person trapped in the cocoon, and they start to roll forward here as they instantly understood the timing of the cocoon. Tist making the plays for his team, learning his limits, and understanding just how much he can do on this hero for MVP Black. I thought that was phenomenal play. We saw in the early part, a little bit questionable, learning your limits, but understanding just how far you can spread your wings. Tist made a lot of plays for his team in a 30-second time frame, just unbelievable.
Good to see from Tist, and of course we have another one of the key members from MVP here in Merry Day. Hello. And of course I am a Korean translator. So let's talk about the series that we just had. So Merry Day going into the match versus SPT. What did you expect coming out from them going into this match?
이번 SPT 경기를 준비하면서 뭐 어떤 전략 같은 걸 예상하셨나요?
SPT가 지금까지 좀 자가라랑 발라를 위주로 많이 써갖고 자가라를 아마 쓰지 않을까 싶었는데 뭔가 좀 유럽 메타를 영향을 좀 많이 받아서 그런지 CC 연계 조합을 하더라고요. 그래갖고 약간 당황스러웠는데 크게 문제되는 건 없었던 것 같아요.
So we expected them to pull out Zagara and Vala.
Yes.
Mostly Zagara because they use it a lot. But they seem to be following. They seem to be like following the EU meta more. They use the chaining CCs more. So we were kind of taken back a little bit, but it wasn't that big of a problem.
Okay.
In the interview that we saw just before, you made the comment of when teams aren't as good as we are, we tend to don't give them an opportunity to come back. Now that fight got a little bit messy towards the end of Battlefield of Eternity. Was that just you guys having fun, or did they put up a little bit of a fight?
그 아까 경기 시작 전 그 영상에서 이제 좀 MVP보다 좀 못하는 팀을 만날 때는 역전의 여지를 안 주게 그렇게 확실히 압살을 벌인다. 약간 이런 식으로 얘기를 했는데 약간 그 영전 마지막 한타에서 조금 좀 깔끔하지 않았어요 한타가. 그게 좀 그냥 재미로 하고 있었는지 아니면은 그것도 좀 진지하게 하고 있었는지.
일단 한타 할 때 보통 이니시에이터들이 약간 각이 보이면 저지르고 본다라는 느낌 있잖아요. 팀원과 상의 전에 약간 그냥 직감적으로 바로 사용하는 그런 느낌의 한타가 돼갖고 이거 하는 싸움 도중에 이건 좀 아닌 것 같다 해서 뺐었어요.
So usually when anyone initiates a fight, they don't like say we're going in. They just do it. It's like you do it and then you call them later. We saw the fight getting a little bit sloppy, so we pulled out a bit later.
So obviously we didn't get to talk to Meriday or MVP Black after the result yesterday with Roll20. If you were to go up against Roll20 again down the line, would the result be much different for MVP Black?
어제 그 롤20 e스포츠랑 한 경기 이후에 인터뷰를 못 했잖아요. 그래서 혹시 다 이후에 롤20를 다시 만나게 된다면 이제 결과가 많이 다를 것 같나요?
일단 저희 팀이 연습을 좀 하고는 있는데 한국이랑 메타가 너무 많이 달라요. 미국도 그렇고 유럽도 그렇고. 그래갖고 일단 저희가 고생을 좀 많이 하고 있어서 저희들만의 메타가 좀 확립이 되기 전까지는 여전히 계속 고생할 것 같아요.
So we're working hard, but the EU and NA meta are so much different from that in Korea. So until we set ourselves like our own meta, we're probably going to struggle against them.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, 감사합니다, as you go on forwards into the next matches. Let's take a look at the groups to see exactly what has gone on so far here as we have concluded our Group A games today. And as you can see, the table stands as that. The 2 of the 5 days that we are going to have the group stages unfold here for the mid-season brawl. We'll be moving on to Group B in just a few moments' time. But overall, let's round up our thoughts on Group A here for today. Any surprises that have come out for you guys? Anything that's shone for you?
I think the fallback of Nomia, I kind of expected them to maybe carry some momentum from yesterday. I think they fell a little bit flat today. I do think that they have all the talent in the world, and I think that they should be able to come back. But I just expected more from them today. But Roll20, super impressed with what they did as well today.
We had a lot of surprises yesterday. Today's games felt a lot more as expected if we tried to predict them yesterday, before we saw yesterday's games, for example. So everyone seems to have reevaluated and come in. But this is only going to make the teams that did lose today more hungry for tomorrow.
We're only halfway through with the day. I think so far it went as expected, but I think some of the bigger shakeups are slated to happen in the second half of the day today, so I can't wait.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. Of course, we will have Group B starting in just a little bit as well, as we've already had a lot of games yesterday, but now we get things going in just a few moments' time. Tune in just a moment as we have more Mid-Season Brawl coming your way.